Welcome to another episode of video lessons using new focus approach to mathematics book 7. This is revised edition of the book, and in this video we want to look at how to express percentages as decimals or as fractions and vice versa. This lesson can be found in page 99 of the book. Now let's start with converting the following percentages to fractions or to common fractions and to decimal fractions as well. Remember, we've learned earlier that percent simply means over 100. So if I say 20%, I simply want to say 20 over 100. So 20 over 100 becomes a fraction form of the 20%. Okay, so this we can say is a fraction, but this is not to the lowest term, and we've learned previously in the book that we can always write fractions to the lowest form. Now, writing fraction to this lowest form means that here I can divide 20 by itself as 1, and 20 can divide 100 as 5. Okay, so this becomes 1 divided by 5. So that is the fraction in the lowest form or the common fraction. Now we can write this one as decimal. And if it's a decimal, I'll first leave the 20 over 100 like this. And then I'll use the 100 as the zeros here to move the decimal point from here backwards 1, 2. So that I can write this as 0.2. So 0.2 is the decimal fraction of the 20% or of the 1 over 5. So 1 over 5 is the same as 20%. At the same time, is the same as 0.2. Now, with the fraction to the decimal, if it is over 100 and we have 0, 0, I mean the number of zeros that we have will help us to move the number of decimal points we want to move from the origin. So that is for 20%. Now let's look at 60%. Again, 60% simply means 60 over 100. And because we have two zeros here, we can move the decimal point from here 1, 2, and that will give us 0.6. Again, I can have my 60 over 100 reduced to the lowest form to give me the fraction. So we can do cancellation. Maybe we can say, okay, when 10 divides 100 will give us just 10. Okay, and when 10 divides 60 will give us also 6. So we have 6 over 10. Then 2 can divide 6 as 3, and 2 can divide 10 as 5. So here we have 3 divided by 5, which is the lowest form of the fraction 60 over 100. So for this, in fractional form, we have that, and in decimal form, we have this as well. I hope it makes sense. Let's try the last one. So we have 33% and half percent. Okay, so we can write this 33.5% in a form of improper fraction, and that is going to be 33, that is 33 times 2, which is 66, so to be 67 over 2. I'm sure you know how to convert mixed number to improper fraction and vice versa. So this will be our fraction, and this fraction is in the lowest form because 2 cannot divide 67. Then to write the same fraction in decimal, right away from here we know we have 33 and half simply means 0.5. Simply means 0.5. So there's no need struggling. 33 and half, because half, okay, is the same as 0.5. And so 33 and half means 33.5, and that becomes the answer, right? Now, how do we convert fractions to percentage and decimal? Of course, this one, I can just write this percentage as multiplied by 100. Okay, so this will be 1 over 2 times 100 will take me to percentage. So I'm going to have 100 over 2, which is the same as 50%. And so for half can be written as 50%, and 50% can also be written as 50 over 100. And again, the two zeros move the decimal point 1, 2, and that will give us 0.5. And so we get our answer to be 0.5. Okay, so in percentage is 50%, in decimal is 0.5. Okay, now let's look at the next one. 3, okay, divided by 4. Again, to percentage will be times 100. So times 100 simply means I'm going to get 300 divided by 4. Now, 300 divided by 4, it means I split 300, which I'll get 150. I split 150, and that will give me 75. So this can be written as 75%. Beautiful. Then again, if you want to leave it in decimal, the 75% can be expressed as over 100, which means I'm going to move decimal point 1, 2, which will be 0.75. So I get my answer. So for decimal of 3 quarters, it is 0.75, and percentage is 75%. Right. Right, so the last one we have is 3 divided by 5. And 3 divided by 5 to percentage will be times 100. Then again, we reduce this to the lowest form. And so, 5 can divide itself 1. 5 can divide here as 20. So 20 times 3 will give us 60. So this number 3 divided by 5, which is 3/5, is the same as 60%. Then 60% we want it in decimal, or we want the 3/5 in decimal. Again, I will write this as 60 over 100. I move decimal point 1, 2, and I'm going to get 0.6. So the number 3/5 can be written as 0.6 in decimal, at the same time 60% in percentages. Now the last one, let's see how we can convert decimal to fractions and percentages. Okay, so very simple. Again, what we have to do is the fraction means I'm going to move the decimal point 1, 2, which of course will be 75 divided by, because I moved 1, 2, I have 100. So that becomes my answer for the fraction, but then I need to reduce it to the lowest form. Or having it as 75 over 100 simply means 75%. That's per 100, so percent. Again, to the lowest form, I can pick a number to divide both 75 and 100. If I pick 25, which is the easiest of all, 25 can divide 75 as 3, and 25 can divide this as 4. So I get 3 over 4. The last one we want to talk about is 0.25. 0.25 also can be written as 1, 2 as 25 over 100, okay? Because I divide by, I move the decimal point 2 times, so it will be over 100. Then that makes me get 25%, okay? But then in the fraction form, I'm going to have 25 divided by 100. 5 can divide 25 as 5, and 5 can divide 100 here as 20. Again, I can divide here by 1 and divide this. 5 can divide 5, 1, and divide 20 as 4. So 0.25 in a fraction form will give us 1/4, and in a percentage form will give us 25%. With this, we come to the end of this video. Thanks so much for watching.